I'm James from GameFront, and welcome to Hot Off the Press Start, the weekly show that rounds up all the latest gaming news and delivers it quicker than Pac-Man on the run from a gang of multicolored ghosts. Valve has officially announced that HalfLife Alex, a new VR game set in the Half-Life universe, will be releasing March of 2020. Valve promises the game will be a AAA standard and be about as long as Half-Life 2. Half-Life Alex will serve as a prequel and tell the story of Alex Vance and Eli Vance, forming the resistance that's featured in Half-Life 2. The game's trailer shows off various familiar-looking environments and enemies, including the Combine. Interestingly, the game will also be free for anyone who purchases Valve's VR Index headset, but will be available for purchase on all VR platforms. I just can't quite shake that feeling that I'm in an M. Night Shyamalan ending where I've had Half-Life 3 the whole time. Saints Row 5 and Dead Island 2 are still in development, according to Koch Media. It could be called Koch Media. I researched as much as I could. I've got journalistic integrity. I'm calling it Koch Media. I had to draw a line. I searched Koch, so you could spell it that way. I also searched Koch, and you know what? After I searched too much, I thought that maybe I just went too deep on the net. News on the two titles has been sparse in recent years, but the company confirmed in an interview with GamesIndustry.biz this past week that both titles are still being actively worked on. The company also confirmed that there'll be something to talk about in the next year for Saints Row 5, so hopefully we won't have to wait for too long to get some more details. Gears 5 has apparently outsold Gears 4, according to Xbox's Phil Spencer. Speaking at XO19 with Eurogamer, Spencer confirmed that Gears 5 has already outsold Gears 4, presumably during the same time period. I mean, it couldn't have sold more than Gears 4 all the way till now, could it? Well, the team is really happy either way. There was some speculation over Gear 5's potential sales figures given the inclusion on the Xbox Game Pass, and it means that many would have access to the game without explicitly making a purchase, but it seems that hasn't dampened the numbers. Spencer also confirmed that Xbox Game Pass is currently proving to be a successful business model for Microsoft. What do you think of Gears 5? And did you buy it standalone or just part of the Xbox Game Pass? Let us know in the comments below. Anthem, the troubled battle royale from BioWare, is apparently going to get a major overhaul to try and revive the game's fortunes. Development teams within BioWare are apparently referring to the updates as Anthem 2.0. And while we don't yet know the specifics of the changes and how they'll be delivered, what we do know is that all of the game's main systems, including mission structure, loot, and even the game's world, will itself be drastically overhauled. In more BioWare news, Kotaku is reporting that the company may be in the early stages of developing a new Mass Effect game, being headed up by Mike Gamble, longtime producer on the series. Recently, Gamble has been working on Anthem and was also on board for Mass Effect Andromeda, which was the most recent game in the series and received so poorly that the series has been on effectively hiatus ever since. The rumors suggested that the game is in very early development, which means we're looking at late 2021 or even 2022 at the earliest for a release, and the game may yet be canceled or changed entirely. If the game is in development, it will most likely be at a concept stage with some story and artwork ideas, but nothing concrete. Stay tuned to GameFront for any more news on this as we learn it. And finally this week, Shenmue III has released, a whopping 18 years after its predecessor released on the Sega Dreamcast. Developed by Deep Silver, taking over from Yu Suzuki's AM2 studio at Sega, the game continues on Yo Hazuki's quest as he travels to China to avenge his father's death. Deep Silver has released a new documentary about the process of developing the game, which gives an interesting insight into the art direction. They're trying to take something and make it both modern and stylistically faithful to the old Sega Dreamcast days. The game is made possible thanks to Kickstarter and had over $7 million of funding raised. Sadly, that also brought with it some controversy after the game turned into an Epic exclusive, which has now been cleared up mostly. And that's this week's gaming news. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click that bell icon to stay notified of the latest news from GameFront.